is Andrew File. I am a spiritual formation director alongside here with Scott Carolyn and Dave Obwald. So we're just here to do a little frequently asked questions. So as we've launched Serve Dei, we kind of leaked it to some folks, and we have some of the, why the change? So we're just here to ask some of those questions and help you guys process through that. So I think, just our backstory as you ask why the change. As we began to wrestle with it, you heard Brad's messages in January about spiritual formation and really this process of discipleship. And so as us as campus pastors and spiritual formation directors, we really began to go, okay, what does this look like? How do we use Serve Dei to help it become more than an event but a lifestyle? And so for this year, we just decided, hey, let's mix it up a little bit. We may go back to the old format of, canceling service and doing work projects and things like that. But for this year, we decided to mix it up and really put the onus, really put the power on the individuals of the well. And so that's what we're doing. We're turning over our missions funds and we're giving it to the church and saying, we believe and we know that God's going to do amazing things through the individuals of the well. And so we know when we plan something, we have our ideas and our things, but God has given passions and places of influence that we don't have. And so I think we were just excited this year to mix it up a little bit and just see what God would do throughout this year. So
I think, even within that, I hear Andrew say that, and then I go, and even as we planned it and processed it, the natural challenges is I'd rather show up to an event. I would rather, like Andrew in the missions department, plan a bunch of stuff in my neighborhood, and I'd rather go to it, and I'd serve faithfully and have connections there, and it'd be awesome. But I think now with me grabbing this packet and having a sense of ownership I'm responsible. I'm responsible to do something with God's money and to think through my own environments, to think through all that kind of stuff. It's very intimidating, and it makes me uncomfortable in some ways. And so I think all of us are kind of collectively feel a sense of being uncomfortable together. But I think that's healthy for us. I think it's going to spark us on to a sense of we talk often in things like men's fraternity, other things of rejecting passivity and accepting responsibility, kind of leading courageously for the sake of investing eternally. And so that's kind of been ringing in my ears a lot as we think of Serve Dei, as we think of what the challenges are going to be. And it really is going to take us collectively rejecting being passive in the environments around us, opening our eyes to seeing what we see, but not just seeing it, having the courage and biblically what would be called faith to step out into the unknown, trusting Christ, knowing that He's doing more in us and through us than we could ever do on our own. And so that's what we're hoping.
Yeah, and I just want to give you guys a sense of the timeline of what this looks for us this year and how it's a little bit different. We launched this thing on April 6th at midweek and then the 10th at the rest of the campuses on Sunday. And so it's at that point that you should have got a packet in your hand that has the information about Serve Dei and the $5 in it, and that should really launch you into this process, sort of incite you to begin to think through what this is going to look like in your life, how it's going to impact yourself, your families, your life groups, your communities, your neighborhoods, etc. And then we're going to do a recap at the end of this on April 27th at midweek, and then May 1st at all of the other campuses. And that's really an opportunity for us to share stories with each other in a corporate setting, to hear where everyone's at. Now, you don't need to necessarily have finished this Serve Dei process. In fact, we want it to continue as a lifestyle. But we want to hear, where are you at in the process? How has God been wrestling with you? Where has He led you to serve and to intentionally bless others? And if you have done anything, what does that look like? What have you learned about yourself, about God, about this process, and maybe even about your neighbors in your city? So share with us wherever you're at, whether you're in process or whether you're finished. We'd love to hear those stories probably around Easter, if you could start sending those to us, so that we could start putting them on the blog and capturing some of those. That would be fantastic. You can just look at the website and give you an email address to send those to us. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and as always, there's other resource videos and other stories and other ideas at servedei.com.